गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Let there be peace, let there be peace and love amongst all human beings of the universe. Let there be peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have started the contemplation on the story of Leela yesterday, that is chapter 4, where we have seen the first topic, that is Devi Var Prapti. The whole process for which we are doing this contemplation on the essence of Yogavaasishtha is to know the truth that we are divine. The purpose is only to know the truth that we are divine and nothing other than that. And that's what we are trying to achieve this. And accordingly, the revision which we have started, we have done 1 to 1 is to 15 chapters, and then we started the revision. And with this revision, when we have started, we had only one purpose in our mind, that whatever we have studied earlier has to be reinforced, and again it should be properly digested, so that 24 by 7, 365 days, whatever the feelings we have, the same feelings will continue, that we are divine and we are doing all the works in the relative world with the approach or attitude of divinity towards it. And that's what we are studying this or contemplating on the stories, which are very enchanting stories inside the stories. If we remember, we have seen the story of Rama having a dialogue with Dasharatha, and then Vasishtha Rishi and Vishwamitra ji sitting. Likewise, we started, then we have gone into the story Shukopakhana. So likewise, stories into the story, and now we entered in the story which is called a story of Leela. Now, what is the story of Leela is? The Leela is the pious wife, a charming wife of king called as Padma. And this Padma, he is also having a very wealthy and a discriminative king. He has lot of vivek with him. And this lady and this king has been instrumental to do all the best of the things in their life. And she started thinking. Actually, all the problems is when you are alone and you think other than the scriptures, the whole world gets enlivened. Jagat pura nirman ho jata hai. So she also created a castle in the air, and she thought, my husband is such a young and she's so nice, so he should remain young forever and he should remain deathless. So she contacted lot of authorities, and they said everything you can do except this, that he cannot remain young forever and he cannot become a deathless. But she was very adamant on that, and she thought I should do something, and she started doing tapasya. Everybody knows that by doing tapasya you get some fruits. So she started doing tapasya, and when she did tapasya for a lot of austerities, and the goddess Saraswati gave her darshan. And then what she did is, after the goddess Saraswati gave her a darshan, she asked for two boons. What are the two boons? One, she said, if my husband dies before me, then his soul should not leave this hermitage. He should remain in this temple only, and whenever I pray you, you should give me vision. Whenever I pray you, you should come running. So Devi said Tathastu, and she then became Antardhyan. So she, as the time went away, and then by misfortune, the husband of Leela, King Padma, left his mortal coil, and then she became totally, profusely, tormently unhappy and sorrowful. But at the same time, before she could call Saraswati Amma immediately came in front of her, and she told Leela, "Ki you create a bed of flowers and keep the corpse of your husband Padma on that, under that, and just be cool." Then she said, "How can I be cool? Please tell me, where did my husband reside? Where does he has gone? And I'm very much disturbed. Please tell me. I can't remain alive without him." Such was the statements made by the Leela. And what with that, instead of telling where his husband has gone, this Saraswati Amma started telling Brahma Tattva Upadesham, Brahma Tattva Upadesham. So, and that is the ultimate reality, the Supreme Spirit she started telling. She told about the three kinds of skies. One is Chidakash, Chittakash, and Bhutakash. So he explained all the three skies to him and told further that Bhutakash is that whatever interactions we are happening is Bhutakash. Chintakash is whatever the thinking process keeps on going, that is Chintakash. And Chidakash is everything is a solid consciousness. There is nothing other than the consciousness there. So the Chintakash and the Bhutakash are empty space. You can feel whatever you can have to feel, but then you suffer in the process. Whereas Chidakash is a solid conscious existence. Nothing can be filled in that. Everything is in me, but I am not in anything. That is what is Chidakash. So likewise has been told to Leela, and then Leela contemplated on that and attended the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And that means her Dehatma Bhava has been dropped. And with this pure consciousness existence without any possibility of duality, she went into the Chidakash, that is Ekameva Dvitiya, that is Satchitananda. She remained in that. That is a blissful state, infinite state, which cannot be divided. She remained in that. And she could, surprisingly, what she could see there is, she could see her husband sitting in the great number of kings. She was very much astonished. And this is what is happening is everything is happening in her house. And having seen the king seated on the throne, which is a former old age abundant, 16 years of old, she was totally surprised. She went into the inner chamber of her house, where the corpse of her husband Padma was kept, and she thought of the goddess with a devotion and asked the question to the goddess. And then goddess told her, this is what is the delusion of the creation. And there is no possibility of content and thought in Chidakash. Everything is in Bhutakash or Chintakash. So then this was yesterday we are done, and we are now starting the second topic, that is a Purva Vrittanta, early history. So now goddess is going to tell her the whole story, how come this thing is happening, and she could see her husband sitting in the company of kings, and there is a young king just after the he left the body. How can it be happening? So now the goddess Saraswati is telling her. So we should remember before we go into the further details that there are three Akash: Bhutakash, Chintakash, and Chidakash. Bhutakash and Chintakash are empty space. You can feel whatever you want to feel, infinite things in that, because it never ends, because all is delusion. And Chidakash, third one is solid conscious existence. There is only divinity, divinity, divinity in that. There is nothing other than that. So if you remember this, then the summary of first topic, that is Devi Var Prapti, the two boons she has obtained. Barring all the text of that and boons and all that, our main focus should be on these three kinds of Akash, because always we should remember that we are doing all this exercise to mind our mind. We have to mind our mind. All these stories we are, enchanting stories we are listening or contemplating or coming to know about it. It's all or doing in the afternoon meetings only for mind or mind. We have to be what? Happy, blissful, cheerful, contented, and tranquil and over and above, relaxed and cool. Ever, forever. Not like only for short time. It is not like a part-time job. The spiritual activity or spiritual practice is not a part-time job like you are doing some katha somewhere and be happy there, understand, take good food and all those. That is not only the purpose. That also serves some purpose, definitely. At least for some time your mind is in the attached to the divinity or the cause of that. But all the circumstances, whether you are there or whether you are outside or whether you are everywhere, because the world is full of divinity, there is nothing other than the divinity, there is nothing other than the God. Sushti, Sriti, Pralay, everything is that Almighty only, there is nothing other than that. We should remember that and be happy always because be happy is the very important thing. Moment you are happy, then you will not think. Moment you think, then you are not happy. Moment you go into the Chidakash, Chintakash, you are not happy because you started thinking. Moment you go into Bhutakash, you are not happy because you started thinking. Moment you come back to Chidakash, that is a solid consciousness existence. There is only happiness, happiness, happiness. There is nothing other than happiness there. So with this small introduction, we'll start to the next topic that is early history. Shloka number 20. Devi Uvacha, the goddess said, Asti kaschita chidakashe kvanchit sansara mandapa tatra vashishta namasit kashit dharmo paradvija. What it is means in English is somewhere in the sky of consciousness there is a certain hall of worldly existence. There a certain virtuous Brahman named Vashishta lived. Now she is started telling the story. Story has been told to whom? This Leela. And who is telling? Saraswati Amma. What she is telling? In the Chidakash, that is the ultimate Akash. There is a samsara mandapa, there is a worldly existence. There are certain virtuous Brahman Vasishtha lived. Now she is telling a story of another Vasishtha Brahmin. He is not the our Vasishtha Rishi which is telling a story to Ramji. So it is a story inside the story. Vasishtha Rishi is telling a story to Ramji. In that story comes the Leela and Saraswati Amma. In that story now Saraswati Amma is adding another Vasishtha Brahmin. So story, inside the story, inside the story. So enchanting, so beautiful. So what she says, 21 shloka, तुल्यशील वयोवेश तस्य भार्या अरुन्धति कदाचित् स ददार्थात् परिवार युक्तं नृपम. His wife was Arundhati, who was indeed equal to him in character, age, and appearance. Once he saw below the king with his retinue. Now again another story starts. So what is the story? Let me again rethink and recontemplate. Ramji is listening the story of Vashishta Rishi. In that story of Vashishta Rishi which Ramji is listening, there is a story called as a Lilopakhyan. In that Lilopakhyan, Saraswati Amma is telling a story. In that story, what is happening is Saraswati Amma is telling a story of Vashishta Brahmin, and that Vashishta Brahmin has Arundhati as the wife. Story inside the story, inside the story, inside the story. It is like a telescopic gun, opened, 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 opened. So it is opening up now, and so beautiful. So what happens is this Arundhati and this Brahmin Vashishta was living inside the sky of consciousness. So in the consciousness, solid consciousness, nothing happens, but these are all projections there. Similarly, in the world also, nothing is happening. But what we are seeing the different. There is a speaker, there is a listener. All this is all meant for your happiness. You are on the pilgrimage. Enjoy your journey. Why you worry? Why you want to go to remain in Bhutakash, but do all activities in Bhutakash, but always remember about Chidakash. So you'll be always happy. Happy man never thinks. Happy man is blissful, cheerful, contented, and over and above relaxed and cool. So with this attitude, let's see next shloka that is 22. Aho bhupatala aramya sarva saubhagya lalita kadasyam aham peva iti sankalpa vanbhut. So what happens is now this Vashishta Brahmin, along with this Arundhati, they were staying in the sky of consciousness. Now, this chap, Vashishta Brahmin, thinks he sees the retinues of the king and he thinks kingship is indeed delightful. अरे यार राजा बनना तो बहुत बढ़िया चीज है. Fondled by all good fortunes. इसका तो बहुत नसीब अच्छा है. When shall I also be like that? मैं राजा कब बनूंगा? Thus did he become possessed of fancy. So now what he's doing is he is creating castle in the air. अपना संकल्प कर रहा है वो. ही संकल्प सर्व सौभाग्य लालिता. This king is a सर्व सौभाग्य लालिता. He is a really big man here. Everybody is giving him good food, good this thing, good salutes. One should become a king. And thus, with this thinking now, this Vashishta Brahmin dies, which is given in next sloka, 23rd number. Asamya maranasyasyam bharya mam sharanam gata tadvatassa pratha prathama amasa jivo bhurti rutum mrityu same maya sid mandapadasmadam tate vangi krutam maya vrutasa prakna na ankalpa sankalpat abhavat krupam. What is the meaning of this Sanskrit shlokas? The wife of Vashishta, whose death was impending, took refuge in me. Like you, she prayed to me, may the soul of my dead husband not depart from this hall. So again, there is a story inside the story. Whatever this now, Leela is asking this Saraswati Amma. Similarly, this Arundhati also asked for her husband Vashishta Brahmin to same Saraswati Amma. So the wife of Vashishta, that is Arundhati, whose death was impending, to refuge in me. Like you, she prayed me, may the soul of my husband does not depart from this hall. It was so granted by me. Who was dead become a king because of his former great desire. So there are two messages are there. One is what? Saraswati Amma is helped everyone. She's always there, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you know it or not. You are divine. Your divinity is at the helm of that, and that is Saraswati Amma. She will always help you. So whatever you so second thing is sankalpavan uh, one anubhuta. So sankalpavan, whatever sankalpa you do, Shubha sankalpa that will materialize. What sankalpa this Vashishta Brahmin did? He wanted to become king, he did, and immediately become king. What a great thing. What is this divinity? Immediately, because in the scale of Almighty or in the scale of divinity or samsara mandapa which is shown in the consciousness, the parameter of space and time is not there. That is for our worldly thing. It is not there. So immediately it has become. So with this next shloka is 25, 26. Tasminneva chidakashe jiva kashataya stita shokyen karshita asadvi deya bhruta sruja durata ativahikadehena sa bhartaramupayayo tameva sasate bharta dvijo bhupatva. So he remained in that state, sky of consciousness, as a space of individual soul. The virtuous lady, emancipated by sorrow, casting off her body, went to her husband with a subtle body. You are only that lady. And the Brahmin husband of yours has attended to the state of being a king. So now she is telling her Purva Vrittanta, lady, listen, Leela, you are that Arundhati, and this Vashishta Rishi is what? That Vashishta Rishi is your husband who died. What was his name? Padma. Padma is that Vashishta Brahmin, and Arundhati is you, Leela, and you are doing this trick second time. You are not doing it first time. आप बड़ी होशियार हो. पहले बार भी मेरे से आपने ये वार लिया था. तभी भी ऐसा ही हुआ था. Now second time this has happened, and now this time I am going to give you knowledge so that you will be liberated from all this delusion and you will be free. You will not be caught anymore in this samsaric bhavana of yours. Point is that you should always remember the divine nature. These all stories are for enchanting stories are only to know that you are truth. You are divine. You are unfragmented, unpartitioned, unsegmented divinity. Whether you go and attend the katha and listen to that, or you don't attend that katha and do your homely works like doing a samsara work, or do all your official work, duties, and all that. Point remains is, are you happy? Under all situations. If you are happy under all situations, you have made the day. You have to be happy 24 by 7, 365 days, and always remain happy. So that has been tried to be told here. Further, it continues 27 shloka. Praktini sa smriti lupta yuva yorudita anyayata swapne jagrata smriti yadvat vritte radhyashtama dinam. That former memory of you two, which was lost, arose in the different manner just as the memory of the waking state arises in the dream. Today is the eighth day of day death. So now what she is telling? There when you are dead, that this Vashishta Brahmin and this Arundhati, there it is the eighth day. Now these days are counted on the divinity's time scale, not on our manual time scale. So there is it the eighth day. And now what has happened is Leela has also become very subtler. She is with the Saraswati Amma. And now they are wanting to know what has happened. So they again next shloka. Deshe darga yatha anasti kale dregra tatha nahi ऐसा यम पितु पुत्र वर्णे नातानि सन्ति मे इति भ्रांति जागत यत्र मृत्युमोहातानन्तरम् एवं देवावच श्रुत्वा लीला प्रोचे सरस्वती. Just as there is no length in space, now this point has come which I was saying. Just as there is no length in space, so also there is no length in time. Both are illusionary. Time and space is illusionary. It is very difficult to digest this. क्योंकि अपन we always count about the time. Whenever day started, we get up in the morning 5 o'clock, do our morning work, become fresh, and start maybe some studies, some yoga, go for a morning walk, and go for a job, do whatever job you have, come back, have a food at lunch at around 1 o'clock, go for a bed for some time, again get up, have a cup of tea, do something, maybe listen to TV or whatever the news we feel like, gossip with our family members, again have a dinner at maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, see some good things, maybe read scriptures and go to bed at 10 o'clock, again wake up at 5 o'clock. So this clock which I told you, 1 day clock of 24 hours, 365 days, and it keeps on going. But if you really being contemplative, this time will never trouble you because your mind is always in the divinity. So the time scale will vanish as well as these spaces will vanish. So that's why many times in the stories like such Quranic stories, they say that he has ruled this earth for 10,000 years. So what is this time scale? We are really not here aware. What is this year? So likewise, what is said, this is time and space both are illusionary. I am the son of this father. These are my years. This delusion arises here in this world after the insensibility of the death. And thus, having heard the word of goddess, Leela told Saraswati. Now, after the hearing that, now Leela is telling the Saraswati Amma. What is that? सर्गम ब्राह्म दंपत्यो तम मानव महेश्वरी एव मुक्ता तु सा प्राहम देहम मुक्ता भवामल. Great goddess, lead me to the world of that Brahmin couple. And thus told, she the goddess said, become stainless by leaving the body. So now what is the desire now? Again the desire. See, this Leela is not keeping quiet. That is what is our mind is also. अपना भी मन ऐसे ही चलते रहता है. डिजायर मेरे को ये मिला और एक मिलना चाहिए, वो मिला, एक गाड़ी मिली, एक घर मिलना चाहिए, दूसरा घर मिलना चाहिए, वो मिलना चाहिए, ये मिलना चाहिए, वो माइंड एंड सो मच पजलिंग योर माइंड. Can you not keep quiet? Can you not remain divine? Can you not be happy, contented, blissful, cheerful, and relax and cool? जहाँ बैठे हो शांत रहो यार, जो खाने को मिल रहा है खाओ, जो मस्त रह रहा है मजे से रहो. But then mind doesn't know what this Leela has understood. Leela is now her husband Padma is dead. His body is under that flower bed, and Devi is helping her to understand. Now, what she is asking this Devi, when Devi told you are the Arundhati and your husband was this Brahmin Vashishta, she now saying, and she says this is time and scale. This space is only illusionary, and everything is happening in the Chidakash, that is the solid consciousness. In the solid consciousness, there is a Sansar Mandapa, where is this Arundhati and this Brahmin, they used to stay. And now this is lady is asking another favor to Saraswati Amma. What is that favor she is asking? She is asking a great favor. You please take me to that Brahmin couple's place. वो world मेरे को वहाँ ले चलो. And then Saraswati is Saraswati because she is always boon giver. So our Chidakash, our solid consciousness existence is always helping us. And what Saraswati Amma says, become stainless by leaving the body. तो तुझे मैडम जी, लीला जी, तुझे अपना देहात्म भाव छोड़ना पड़ेगा, जीवात्म भाव छोड़ना पड़ेगा, ईश्वरात्म भाव छोड़ना पड़ेगा. You leave all these things from your mind and then you become a settler. And when moment you become a settler, leaving the body here now this lady has to live in the gross body because she wants to become like Saraswati. See, unless you leave this gross body, you cannot become one with the divine. You cannot remain Jivan Mukta, you can remain. Remaining this in this body and enjoying the advantages of divinity, you can do that. But once your body falls by the grace of Almighty, at the end of this voyage, our what you can say is our Tirtha Yatra or pilgrimage which for which we have been sent by the Almighty. Thereafter, then you can become a stainless by leaving the body. But Saraswati Amma is saying you want to see instantly. Okay, leave this body immediately. So she listens that, and after that, next shloka says, Achitya Chidrapai Mai Paramam Pavini Tusham Avalabhya cha Pashwatam Sahasargama Narlagam. Become of the nature of pure consciousness, free from the things pursued. So, what has been told? Having recourse to the supreme and pure perception, we shall see together the world unlocked. What Saraswati Amma told her? You become a stainless. After that, you become a pure consciousness. When you become pure consciousness, then even though there is a Saraswati Amma and Leela, two characters, but they will be at same pure consciousness, and nothing will stop them by seeing this Sansara Mandapam, which Leela has asked, what is this Arundhati and what is this Rishi, Brahmin Vasishtha? So that will be possible. So आतिवाहिक एवायाम दृश्याते चित्तदेयकम आदिभौतिकया बुद्ध्या गृहीता चीर भावनात्. 32 number श्लोक. This mental body is only subtle or spiritual. By long contemplation, it has been understood with the notion of physical and by people like you. So what happens in our life also? Our life also, we always keep on saying, like I am saying, Dehatma Bhav Chodo, Jivatma Bhav Chodo, Ishwaratma Bhav Chodo, and then become one with the divinity, even though you are in the living this life. This body consciousness will always come. Like I am now become a speaker, there are some listeners here. This body consciousness will be always there because there has to be speaker, there has to be instrument called as body through which you will be speaking. Only thing is that, boss, don't take it real. Only we are taking it real. You take it like this. By divine grace, a divinity is speaking through this mouth. He is only delivering this knowledge, and it's a very blissful knowledge because it will keep my mind tranquil, contented, blissful, cheerful, always happy and relaxed and cool. This is helping me for that purpose, and the listener is also divine. So the ego will go off. कोई दिस मॉन्स्टर ईगो विल गो अप, जो ईगो अपने को परेशान करता है, दैट विल गो अप, एंड डिजायर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आल्सो विल गो अप. You become a prime minister of India or America or Netherlands or whatever, you are okay, contented. You become a beggar on the street, contented. Because you know your nature is happiness. Either you are a beggar or a normal outsider or a prime minister, you are all contented. You are always happy, provided you know that you are divine. आप डिवाइन में पता है तो आपको खुशी खुशी मिलेगी, हर वक्त आनंद जीवन में आते रहेगा. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज देयर. सो नेक्स्ट श्लोका इज 33. वासना तानवम न्यूनम यदा ते स्थिति मेष्यति तदाति आदिवाहिक भावा पुदरेशति देहके. When the thinning of mental impressions will certainly arrive at your natural state, then the notion of subtle and the spiritual will again appear in the body. So what is told, sadhana is told here, थिनिंग ऑफ मेंटल इम्प्रेशन. अपने को अपने मन की जो विचार करने की शक्ति है, कम से कम विचार करो. अपने करना है तो अपने परिवार के लिए करो, अपने बच्चे के लिए करो, अपने पत्नी के लिए करो, अपने बहू के लिए करो, उतना करो. पर अपन दूसरों के लिए भी करते हैं, कंपैरिजन करते हैं, कमेंट करते हैं और उस पर ओपिनियन देते हैं, और सो मेनी थिंग्स विल कीप ऑन डूइंग, एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंस इज योर माइंड बिकम्स वेरी स्ट्रांग, and then you become suffering in the world. So that suffering has to be dropped, and that will only possible only by contemplation. So today's last shloka which we are contemplating is, so now this all is Devi Saraswati Amma telling this to whom? To Leela. What is that? Vasana tanava tasmat kuruyante ananindate tasmin praudi upayate jivan mukta bhavishyasi. Therefore a faultless lady, the Saraswati Amma is saying, faultless lady, आपने तो कोई अपराध नहीं किया है. Take efforts in shading mental impressions. Without perfection, when perfection is reached in these efforts, you will be become liberated by alive. So now the message is given to us. We have to also shade our mental impressions. जो पुराना हो गया यार. So many things happens in life. So many good things I did, so many bad things I did. Happened, okay, forget about it. So drop your all past. Don't worry about the future. No comparison in present. These three things are very important. Again, drop your past. पुरानी सब चीजें छोड़ दो. अरे मेरे को उसने ऐसा बोला, अरे मेरे को उसने वैसा बोला, ऐसे किया वैसा किया. ड्रॉप ऑल दोस. डोंट थिंक अबाउट द फ्यूचर. कि आगे के बारे में बिल्कुल सोचो मत. और नो कंपैरिजन प्रेजेंट, सो यू विल बी ऑलवेज हैप्पी एंड ब्लिसफुल. So that's what is Saraswati Amma is telling here also to Leela. To drop your past impressions, and when perfection is reached in these efforts, you will be liberated while alive. That means you will become जीवन मुक्त. जब अपने मन में ऐसा perfection आ जाएगा, you will become a जीवन मुक्त. So this is what the message Saraswati Amma gave to Leela, and then what Leela said and how the Leela could see that Sansar Mandapa Arundhati and that Brahmin Vashishta, that we'll see tomorrow. With this prayers, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Ramachandra Arpanamastu, submitting the divine fruits of our today's talk at the feet of holy feet of Sri Ramachandra. Thank you.